Hey everyone, this is Ryan Lucchese for Card Player TV, and we are here at the Rio All-Suite Hotel and Casino for the World Series of Poker main event final table viewing party. Many of players are here tonight, and they're behind us here at the Lucky Strikes lanes, catching all the action. In addition to many of the November 9 finalists, also inside watching the ESPN broadcast are World Series of Poker Commissioner Jeffrey Pollack, Daniel Negreanu, and ESPN commentator Norman Chad. We got a chance to catch up with 9th place finisher Craig Marquis about his final table experience. We had a very unique setup with the final table, 117 days off before you came in. What were you doing to prepare during that stretch?
A lot of relaxation. I didn't do pretty much anything as far as preparations go. I'm pretty confident in my poker game, and I wanted to keep the same style that I came in with, and they got me to the final table throughout the rest of it.
Now let's talk about the last hand. You had the pocket sevens against the ace queen, classic all-in pre-flop coin flip, but it played out a little differently than your classic coin flip. So tell me a little bit about that roller coaster ride on that hand.
Yeah, it was a lot more dramatic than most coin flips were. I mean, when I flop a set, we'll see in the broadcast that I'm pretty excited because I'm 96% to win the hand. So after that, I'm real happy. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next, rather than thinking about what I'm going to do on the way home. When the turn came, it was a jack, and I was like, oh, well, that gives me way more of a sweat than I wanted. I'm still in a really good spot. He has like 10% to win, and then the river, of course, was the king, knocking me out. It was a really emotional hand because I went from a huge favorite to win on the flop to going home in 9th place, which wasn't something that I expected with Kelly Kim having 1.5 big blinds remaining. But I came to try to win the tournament, and so that's how I go about things. And I can't really sweat losing a flip. I want a lot of them to get this far, so eventually you are going to lose one.
Moments after arriving at the party, we caught Elon Schwartz making a huge laydown in a hand in the broadcast against Ivan Demidov. We caught up with him soon after and asked him about the big laydown and what was going through his mind during the hand. Well, how was it to watch that on the broadcast?
Oh, I was really pleased, and at that moment, I was pretty sure I was beat, but then, after I went home and I was kind of up all night wondering whether I was wrong, and I started reanalyzing it, but I was really happy when I ran up to the screen. I saw he had the ace of hearts, and he checked his card one time. He also bet like the same amount that he did when he had ace king and I had king 10, and he kind of made the same movement. So it was kind of like, I had him that time and some sort of reverse tell, and anyway, so it worked out. And I was.
So you said you were a little nervous to watch things tonight. Was it really surreal to see it so soon after it happened?
How come I didn't get the planter's good instinct moment? I didn't get that. The other guy got it for king 7 versus 3 threes. My laydown was much better than that laydown. It happened first. What's going on here? I want an inquiry.
We also spoke with Doris Suharto, who was the 6th place finisher at the final table. We're literally minutes away from the show here. Are you excited to see how it came out?
Yeah, I mean, I would really like to see all the hands that we play in the final table, so I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah, will it be interesting to see maybe what some of your opponents were holding in situations where you were kind of stuck on a decision last night? It becomes a little more clear now?
I think I pretty much know. I mean, there's one hand that I would play really bad against Ivan Demidov. I thought he was fixed. I had ace queens, and I raised in the cutoff, and he raised me. And then he continues and back flop with king high. I thought he was fixed. I raised him to 8 million. I have only 4.5 million behind, and he moved all in. So I'm sure he has ace king. That's what I think. But I would like to see what hand he has.
Doris Suharto was surprised to see that he had been betting into a flop set of Ivan Demidov all along. We caught up with Demidov as well and asked him about a key hand that he played with Dennis Phillips early in the final table broadcast. We really saw one of the first impressive insights to one of the hands you were holding where you bluffed Dennis Phillips there and took control of the final table. How did it feel to see that on the ESPN broadcast?
Yeah, that was the hand I was most interested in. I never really knew what he had exactly, but It definitely was a good hand. My read pre-flop was that I saw him limp pre-raise under the gun a lot with strong hands, but you know, not just aces or kings. It could have been like any middle pair or ace king, ace queen. He's doing it with a lot of hands, and with stack sizes like we had, and you know, with 9 people left and Killer Kim having like 2 blinds left, I was sure he's gonna fold like a lot of my forward pre-flop. I was very surprised he just flat called me, because you know, I thought if he had aces he would just move on me, all in on me, and you know, with kings probably too, and he's gonna just fold the rest, but he just flat called. And when the flop came, the pot was so huge that with my previous read that it's possible he has ace king or like I don't know, ace queen too maybe, or a lot of hands, you know. The pot was so huge that I had to move all in, and you know, I really was underdog against a set and like pair of kings and pair of aces, like ace jack every other hand. You know, I had decent chances, decent pot odds, especially considering the money in the pot, so I just moved all in, and you know.
The broadcast eventually got to the heads-up match between Ivan Demidov and Peter Eastgate, and the two are actually sitting side by side watching the final hands go down and Peter Eastgate's historic win come to fruition. Finally, we had a chance to speak with 2008 world champion Peter Eastgate. All right, Peter, so obviously it feels great you're the world champion right now. How much more meaningful is it for you to be the youngest champion in main event history as well as the first Danish champion?
It's like the sugar on the top right now, but I wasn't really thinking of like breaking a record when I was playing. Like I wasn't really focusing on the money, because you kind of just need to focus on your game and your opponents, and what poker's all about.
So it seemed like you really were focusing on Ivan, obviously, at the end there, and you got him to bluff at you a couple times, and you really seemed to know what he was doing. Did you have any tell on him during that final heads-up match?
Well, I didn't really have any physical tells on him. Obviously, in the heads-up match, it's all about trying to get your opponent to make mistakes, and his timing wasn't really very good in the heads-up match. On the other hand, he's a very competent player, and that was just a very bad day to make the wrong plays at the wrong time, and if we play tomorrow he might win, so it's very good to use the once in a lifetime chance to get the bracelet in the heads-up match, and I'm very satisfied.
Okay, so you represent really 3 demographics of poker that are up and coming. You're young, you're an online player, and you're a European player as well. I mean, do you feel like your win might have the same effect that Chris Moneymaker's win had in the US? You will affect players the same way in Europe and inspire them to take up poker?
I will try my best to be an inspirational figure for like poker players in Europe and kind of globally. But I'm not really doing the analyzing of the market, so that's not my job description. I'm a poker player, and I will try to be the best ambassador as I can be.
All right, well, congratulations on your big win, and thank you very much for talking to us. Enjoy the show. Thanks for checking out our coverage of the World Series of Poker main event final table viewing party from the Rio. Once again, this is Ryan Lucchese for Card Player TV.